Hey, how are you? I do hope you're well. Today I want to show you how to make a delicious roast chook, but a slight variation on the normal roast chook in the sense that it's a peri chicken, which sounds fancy, but really it's very simple. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the chicken. Now, you don't have to, there's a number of different ways you can do this. So you can do the whole chicken, so keep it intact. You can just use thigh, you can just use breast, you can use drummies or a combination of those. What I'm going to do is going to break down the chicken into its constituent parts. So I've got this beautiful chicken from Ethical Farmers. So if you're not feeling confident to do this, then get your butcher to do it, or just buy the constituent parts at your butcher or online. So we'll take the wings off. So this has been out of the fridge for about 30 minutes, and I've also got my oven preheating. So it just makes it a bit, obviously it's better for the cook time if it comes out the fridge, but it also makes it easier to handle when you're breaking it down as well. So work with gravity, so allow gravity to give you a helping hand. Makes life a little bit easier. Try and keep all the beautiful skin intact. This is a pasture raised chicken. And then there's two different ways you can take the breastbone apart. You can either get a pair of scissors. Even if you get a pair of scissors and just make a start, and we're actually going to keep the chicken on the breastbone and the ribs. So that's what you want there. So all the beautiful skin still on. On the back side we still got some bones for flavour, help to keep the moisture in. I'll just take the last one off. And then you're left with that, so you can keep that in the freezer. There's hardly any waste, there's the neck in there if you want to keep the neck. But that's great for stock. So once you've got 2 or 3 in the freezer, then you can build a stock pretty easy. So there you have it, guys. You've got all the beautiful components of the chicken, all the skin still on, bones still in, the wings. So when you're cooking it broken down, obviously it's going to take slightly less because there's less cook time because there's more surface area exposed to the heat. So just bear that in mind as well. Okay, so onto the sauce. Now, this is my version. It's not an exact version of peri, but it's pretty close. What we're after is a bit of heat, a bit of tang. So, to build it, we've got some whole ingredients. So we've got some ginger. So a decent, that's probably a 2 centimetre square, maybe a 3 centimetre square. I've got 4 whole cloves of garlic. I've got a whole red chilli. And then I've got a few spices. So I've got some dried chili. I've got some paprika, both smoked and normal. So smoked and sweet. About 2 teaspoons of that. We've got some harissa. And we've got some cayenne pepper, and we've got some oregano. So a bit of heat, a bit of tang, and a bit of earthiness from the oregano. To that, we're going to add some fat, some oil. So we can use anything from coconut oil, olive oil, ghee, butter, combination of those. I'm just going to go with olive oil today. And again, to add to the tang, the juice of about 2 lemons. And if you wanted to do this way ahead of time, you could. So you could let it marinate, let it sit for a couple of hours, But for the purposes of today, we're just going to blitz this and throw it all in, get it all together. All right, that looks great. So it's a beautiful, rich red color from the harissa, from the chili, and there's lots of tang from the ginger, and you could even put some sumac in there if you wanted. Could work with some lime as well. Bit of honey if you want to help balance out the flavors. And then a decent serve of salt. And just get your hands in there. And again, so if you had the luxury of time, you would let that sit. You could probably even put it back in the fridge for, you know, probably a minimum of 2 hours, and then bring it out half an hour before you wanted to cook it. So we're just going to get a baking tray. Transfer that. And just that reminder that this is going to cook quicker than a whole chook, just because that surface area. Okay. Okay, delicious. All right, so we got the oven. Going to crank that up to about 195, and that should take about 40 minutes, 45. Okay, I'm going to let that do its thing, then I'll come back and we got some beautiful fresh beans that I picked up from the organic store around the corner, and we'll see how we go. Okay, we've got a couple of minutes left with the chicken, so I'm going to put these beans in. So I've got some boiling water, salted, give those a couple of minutes. It's a very straightforward dish, very easy, you know, once you combine all those ingredients, the chilies, the harissas, the cayenne pepper, all those types of things, it's really, really simple. Okay, so again, you can do this with a whole chook, any constituent parts of the chook, the thigh, the breasts, the wings, or any medley of those. But it's looking pretty good. I reckon we've got about 5 minutes left in the cook time. Then we'll bring it out. It'll sit on the bench for another 5-10 minutes. Let it rest. Let it, you know, that's where often the magic happens for me. Bit of lemon, bit of salt, and we are good to go. Okay, these beans are done, so I'll just drain those. To that we'll add just a dash of olive oil, a little bit of lemon, and some butter and lemon and salt. Make the world go round, as we all know. Okay, so I'll leave those in there for the time being. Now it's time to get the chicken out, so I'll make some room for that. Okay, so it's had about 45 minutes, just shy of 45 minutes. Again, it's going to be longer, it's going to take a short amount of time than if it's a whole chicken. And obviously if you're breaking it down and you're only using wings or you're only using thighs, again, it's, you know, the cook time is going to be even quicker. Oh, look at that. So hopefully you can see that. Lots of color, still beautifully succulent. And I really like these sort of gnarly bits, so don't be put off by those. Those are the golden bits in my mind. So we'll just get some tongs and we'll just lift these bits. Oh. And be sure to keep all this delicious sauce, you know, you've got all the juices from the chicken, all the spice from the sauce that we made, the marinade. Let me bring that closer to you. Excellent. Okay, and then we'll just serve that with some of those beautiful greens. A little bit of lemon, a bit of salt, and there you go, guys. Simple, tasty, and healthy, and delicious, and ethical. All right, I'll see you soon.